What's up, guys? I'm Devin, and this is the van. We're gonna do some much needed van projects that I've been putting off because I've been so extremely busy. I'm going to change out my 40 amp DC to DC charger with a 60 amp DC to DC charger. Look at this, mama and a baby. They really don't care right here. Ooh, maybe two babies. Yeah, we're really close. Not often do they come up this close. Look at this thing. What's up, buddy? Back to the van. So yeah, that 40 amp is coming out. This is going in. The next thing I'll be installing is a paper towel holder, probably somewhere up there. This is a ratcheting paper towel holder, so it doesn't just fly off the roll as you're driving. In theory, I really hope that works. It'd be nice to have that on here, up there. Then I have this table, right? I've been needing a table. I want to put that table here. So it's got this mounting bracket, and I'm going to try to figure out how to put it here so then I can use it as I sit at my seat here. This thing tracks my face, so I got to show you where I need it. But the table has this deal. This will sit here and go like this. I have to find a piece of wood for this as some sort of countertop. So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut in here. I may be doing some welding today. And I also want to make sure the door closes. So I'll have to cut this panel here, or this piece of interior trim. So this piece can stick out just enough to slide that table support on there and clamp it down nice and tight. Look at the difference in size from the 60 amp to the 40 amp Renogy DC to DC charger. For the record, nothing is wrong with this one. It just doesn't charge fast enough, so I'm thinking 20 extra amps will really help me out here. Okay, before I go digging into that, we better disconnect the battery. Okay, negative is disconnected. The next thing I have to do is go inside. That's right, check out this very good wiring system that yours truly made. I'm surprised we have not caught on fire. This circuit breaker here is the one from the DC to DC charger. I'm going to have that one off. Now it's completely disconnected from the whole system. This one is for the house battery. So if I shut this one off, my lights should realistically go dead. Yep. We don't need that one off. I still have power to the whole system through these bus bars. And this one has now disconnected me from the whole system and the 40 amp DC to DC charger. But bro, how many more times are you going to say 40 amp, 60 amp, DC to DC charger? I don't know. Stay tuned. If you're a drinking man, take a shot every time I do. I don't drink, so whatever. On these chargers, obviously this is the output. This will go to the house batteries. On the other side, this is the input. This will come from the driver battery that's in the van and the alternator. That's what runs this. This essentially is not just a charger, but it's like a check valve. So if I run those house batteries that are back there, it won't drain the car battery. But it's important to know that right here there are tabs. And I'm not exactly sure what I gotta switch these to. I'll look at the other one. I'm assuming they're the same, but I'll get in the manual. You flip these tabs, and that will allow you to charge a lithium ion battery, a gel battery, like a lead acid battery, because they're all slightly different, and you don't want to be throwing power to a lithium ion battery that is meant for a gel battery. Let's real fast talk about the tools for the job that we are going to need to change out this charger. We're going to use impact wrench with a Torx bit. That will get the charger off the platform that I have built for it. Next, we have to use this 1/2-inch wrench. That disconnects my battery. Reminder, don't forget, if you have built your system this way, to disconnect and hit that circuit breaker to shut it off completely. This is one of my favorite tools. This is a Klein 11-in-1. Right? I have like 20 of these things. They're just floating around because every time I need one, it's there. Next will be this tiny little screwdriver kit. That will be so I can hook up the remote wire, so when I turn on the key, it tells that charger to turn on. Now you can put a switch in between there and turn it on whenever you want, but I find that once it knows that those batteries are fully charged, it stops charging, or it adds like an amp or two here or there. It's like a trickle charge, and it stops it from overcharging. They're relatively smart, and I may be wrong about that, but that's my experience of running that 40 amp DC to DC charger for around 3 straight years, and I've had no issues with it. As I said before, these tabs have to be turned for the lithium ion phosphate batteries. This is the correct way. This is the incorrect way. They're actually called dip switches because you're a dip switch when you go to set them. That's it. The dip switch. With mine, I did 14.4 volts. Dude, you'll just have to read it. If you buy this, good luck. Maybe you can use mine as a reference. The charger is wired properly. We'll double check. We got a positive to positive input, negative to negative, which is your ground input. Again, positive to positive, negative to negative, that's the output. That goes up there and back to my house batteries. I've flipped the dip switches, you dip switch, and then this is my remote wire. Let's see what we got. Nothing but flames. She's working! Okay. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we got negative 2.4 amps. I'm gonna flip the circuit breaker. Now it should take a load. 56.5 amps at an idle. Running about 14 volts on the alternator, and that is because I have a 320 amp alternator. I want this paper towel holder mounted up here. I think that's about as good a spot as any. I can move the TV still here, possibly keep it up nice and tight. You can't go this way because you can't put the roll of towels on. So I think I'm going to go this way because I'll be able to get it behind the TV and put it on that way. I'm going to use these T25 Torx screws, maybe just 2 of them. It's overkill. I don't care. I don't have any other ones. I'll just paint them black. Let me get out my measuring tape and level. Looks good. Screw it in. probably just get away with one. I'm just going to use two. There's 4 holes. If paper towels fall off of that, we got some other problems. Yeah, that thing is snug and crooked. I have a feeling those are going to blow all over the place because I don't have AC in this van and I have to drive with the windows down. That's going to make a mess, and we will be modifying that probably with some sort of bungee cord that goes around, because that thing doesn't seem like, yeah, ratchets. I don't know, it might be enough to hold the stupid thing. Next is this. Before I go mutilating this, I have to see what happens, how it's going to work when that door is closed. What will it do? This one's a little more complicated. Here's what I found out with mounting this here. That won't work because that can't be where my table is. That's stupid. We have to go up at this point, somewhere in here, and I'm gonna have to do some modifying. But I do believe that 3 screws will hold it if I just send them, and then my table could be right there and then also be adjusted up and down. I could possibly go right about there, still get the door to close, but we don't know what's on the other side. We're about to find out. We got to pop this seatbelt cover off. Under there is like a T50 or something crazy. I better go track one of those down. Then we're going to pull this panel off, lay the seatbelt down, and then pull this panel off. And we'll size everything up. This is the T50. Let's see. Oh yeah! Damn, I'm good. Oh, dude. Safety first. Those things are tight. Yeah, buddy. Don't lose that. Next. That stays there. These just come off. You just give them a tug. Have these little clips. Don't be scared. Just tug on them. Oh yeah, those ones are right there. Oh yeah, buddy. Right down there is where I want to mount this. And this is what we got. We don't remember when I said we may have an issue. That's my issue. That's the seatbelt ratchet. Keeps you safe. And then in here is where I'm going to mount that bracket. But I have to cut this precisely, and then it will just be covering the seatbelt bracket and mounted with 2 screws. What do you think? Is that enough? 2 screws to hold that together? So then I can hold something on the table, nothing more than a laptop or a plate of food, like a T-bone steak on a solid gold plate. That'd be cool. I don't know. Do I have to weld something up? What are we doing? Doesn't matter, we're doing it. Here's my thought. After giving it a little bit of time to think about, I went to the scrap steel bin, got this piece of tube steel. I'll cut it to fit in this area, and it'll be canted just a little bit, so it won't be perfectly square, but that leaves the door able to close, and I can mount straight to this, and I can get bolts on the back side if I drill holes through it. And I think that's my best bet, to hold this piece. Then I'll put this piece on here. That's all the bigger, so I'll cut that. When I cut this piece of steel with this angle grinder on my bench here, when you're cutting steel, just make sure you do it over dry pine needles on July 18th in the summer. Success. Here's the idea. We are going to take this piece of tube steel. I'm going to use a step bit. I'm going to drill through each side Nothing here has to be fancy. It's more or less just a spacer. So I can put that plate on there and put this plate on here and then send my bolts through to the support in the cab of the van. After that, I'm just going to cut this chunk of steel right here and weld it. I bought this little welder for doing steel edging, and because I'm going to grind it, but I'm just going to cut this with the angle grinder, weld that on there, grind the living shit out of it because it will be flux core, clean this up, paint it black, make it look nice, and bolt it in. And that's how I'm going to mount my table. So that's the basic idea. Looks like trash right now, but I'm going to trim it up. This here will have a cap on it. I'll weld that. That'll be the top. That'll go into the van like this. This will stick out to cut you. I like it. You like it? Good enough. You know that. All right. Now we're going to grind it. Well, it's probably hot, but is that perfect? I don't think so, but it is a little more finished look than if I was to just put that in there with this end open. Yeah, I think it's a better idea. Check that out. I went out to the barn and found this perfect piece of wood. Yeah, it's not square, but that looks like a good tabletop to me. It's a product of Canada. It's a little warped, but I'm going to use this for now. This is my creation so far. Just that tube steel painted black. The two screws just go straight through and then bolted on the inside here. You can see the one right there. The door closes right perfect. I put it in line with that line there on the trim. I have a feeling once I get the tabletop on there, it should be good. This will hit the door. This hits the door. But not as bad as you think. So if I was to climb out of the seat, I can still climb out of the seat. Or it can fold straight that way as I'm driving and leave it, because it's usually just me in here. Now we have to trim this. So I'm going to use this tool. Nice. Which by my calculations is damn near impossible. Hey. it's really tight on the bottom, and then I have just a little bit of a gap on top, but it fits right in there like it should. It's nice and tight. Let's see what it looks like with the stand on it. That's pretty solid. And now the stand can slide all the way down and stay put right there all the time. I like that. That looks pretty damn good. Guys, here's my tabletop. It's not perfect. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna eyeball it. Mainly because that type of stuff pisses off carpenters. And sometimes you get more done by not being perfect. Will it hold a laptop? Yeah. Let's check it out. They say I had a lot of office work to do. That's how I do it. Or I want to eat dinner. And that's look a little more straight. The computer will sit fine on there. Well, I'm going to end the video right there because that's enough. I think I'm going to upgrade this piece of wood later. It's just what I had, the only thing I had. Something a little more decorative to match would be nice. And like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. Check it out. Maybe we can do some more stuff later. Thank you. Catch you on the next one. I got done just in time.